Hey guys, welcome to the Common Sense Football Show and welcome to today's show. We've got quite a few topics to get through today, so let's get started. These are the topics: Konstantin Hatzidakis getting away with the elbow on Robertson, the Martinez injury, I'm going to give you an update on that, today's Premier League games, this evening's late kickoff 5:30 the City game, and the Super Sunday games tomorrow, which include the big one, West Ham versus Arsenal. First things first, Hatzidakis, who was the linesman during the Liverpool-Arsenal game this past Sunday, there was an incident in which Robertson came over to him, went to touch his arm to get his attention, and Hatzidakis went and sort of threw his elbow out in the direction of Robertson's chin, making contact. Now, you know, Hatzidakis was the linesman on Robertson's side, so there probably was a lot of back and forth going on between them, you know, players be trying to get decisions and such. But to be honest with you, there's no excuse. He's threw his elbow out. That is aggressive. It can't happen. Rules are rules. I don't agree with players putting their hands on referees, like the Bruno incident, like the Mitrovic incident. Bruno got away with it, but there was a big deal about it in the media. Mitrovic got an 8-game ban, too long. It should have been a 5-game ban maximum. And this guy, Hatzidakis, the linesman, it goes to they investigate it and they go through all the proper procedures and he gets away with it. If anything, the elbow, to me, is worse than a push that what Mitrovic done. So I don't understand how Hatzidakis got away with it. This is just another example of the FA, you know, sort of protecting each other, the referees protecting each other. One rule for the players, different rule for the officials. Really, Hatzidakis should have been punished. There should have been some sort of ban, not forever, you know, it's a minor really, but there should have been some sort of ban that was given to him, 3 to 5 games, because you can't do that. You can't throw your elbow out at someone. You know, it's very dangerous. And if Robertson would have done a Harry Kane and got on the floor and done all this, it could have been a lot more. Robertson, you know, the FA and Hatzidakis, the linesman, they sort of owe Robertson because Robertson didn't make anything out of it. So, you know, it looks bad on the FA in my opinion. They should have punished the referee, the linesman. They should have punished the linesman. They didn't. It just sort of shows the protection and one rule for you guys, another rule for us sort of thing. That's people are starting to notice within the English football, the FA and the referees now. It's not a good look really, and that's my feelings on it. You guys comment and let me know what you think. The Martinez injury. During this week's, Thursday's Europa League games, Man United were playing Sevilla and Martinez came off injured. It looked quite serious because no one actually touched him. He sort of just limped, you know, done a movement and he felt something go. At the beginning, it looked like it was the Achilles, but thankfully it isn't the Achilles, because an Achilles injury, you can be out from anywhere between 8 months and 8 months and 12 months. So luckily, it's just a fracture in the metatarsal, and Martinez should be fit for the start of next season. So just a medium-term injury, but not a very serious injury. So Martinez should consider himself very, very lucky. That's good news. We never want to see a player get injured like that. Today's Premier League games: Aston Villa smashing Newcastle in the early kickoff 3-0. Again, I've sung Unai Emery's praises many a time on this channel. He's starting to get the respect he deserves in this country as the sublime coach he is from the sports media. What an amazing job that he's done at Aston Villa, smashing Newcastle, far the superior team. Watkins getting a brace. Just fantastic, you know, amazing job since he's been in tenure. What it means for Newcastle, well, they were flying high, loads of wins in a row, scoring loads of goals. this sort of puts a bit more pressure on them getting into the top four. I still think they're going to get into the top four, but today's loss doesn't help their cause. They were quite terrible at the back today. That usually assured back line looked a bit shit, but I still think Newcastle are going to get top four, and I think that Aston Villa will get a Europa League place, and considering where they were when Emery took over, that's absolutely phenomenal. There's games going on right now. Full time in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Crystal Palace beating Southampton. Amazing job Hodgson's done. 3 wins in a row. They look pretty safe. Southampton look like they're going down. Fulham beating Everton. Fulham are safe. They're looking towards the summer holidays, the Bahamas, Greece, wherever they're going to go. Everton are still fighting for their lives. I still think with Dicey at the helm that they'll survive. Wolves beating Brentford. Brentford are they're in the middle of the table, pretty safe, looking towards the summer holidays. Wolves are safe, but these extra 3 points sort of gives them that extra little bit of cushion between them and the bottom teams. Chelsea losing to Brighton. Now, I've said what an absolute shambles Chelsea are. Since Todd Bowley's took over, it's been shambolic. Sacking Tuchel, bringing Potter in for a long-term project. Because of stupid fans that were getting onto Potter, they buckled, weak ownership, they buckled to the pressure. They sacked Potter early on in this so-called long-term project. They brought in a shit manager, Frank Lampard. Absolutely shit. I'm sorry, he's crap. They've lost 2-1 at home today to Brighton. He made all sorts of changes to the Chelsea team that lost to Real Madrid in a week in the Champions League. He tried a different formation. It didn't work. Lampard is shocking. What a stupid decision getting rid of Potter because of stupid Chelsea fans that don't have a clue about football, and some of the channels on YouTube that were sort of bickering for Potter to go. He's crap, he should go, he's the worst Chelsea man. Are you guys dumb? You guys, like I've said, you guys are the architects of your own downfall, because you got out a decent manager who could potentially be a top manager who inherited a mess with hierarchy, they don't have a clue what they're doing. Now, you helped get rid of him because of the pressure. You should have stuck with Potter. You should have give him a pre-season, see how he gets on at the next season. And if it's no good by winter time, then you get rid of him. Instead, the mocking, the abuse, the threats, forced him out of the club. Then you get this absolute, just a clueless manager who's just got this job because of his name and who he knows. It's pathetic. Chelsea fans, you're responsible for getting Potter sacked. You're responsible for the club for the mess that your club's in at the moment, because you've got an absolute shambles at the helm managing your football club, and you had a good manager in Potter before, but you just wouldn't give the guy the time that he needed to try and turn it round and try and do his job. It's a mess, an absolute mess. But yeah, they lost again today. Chelsea, and they're going to get smashed by Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge next week in the Champions League. The game that's still going on right now is Tottenham versus Bournemouth 2-2. Tottenham at home, so that's pretty much drop points. Bournemouth showing a lot of fight to try and survive. Valuable point they're going to get. They won't win in 2-1, but valuable point that they're going to get. It looks like away at Spurs. Spurs, they're not going to get top four. They're another absolute shambles of a football club. And what Conte said about that club and everything about it was 100% true. The big games tomorrow, the late kickoff, City versus Leicester. It should be a straightforward win for Manchester City. They're at home. I don't know if fatigue is going to come into it. Them playing Bayern in a week, this week in the Champions League. But hopefully Leicester, please do us a favour. Try and get out of there with a point, or even better more, beat City. But we'll see what happens in that one. Tomorrow we have Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. I anticipate, in Man United have an injury crisis at this precise moment in time. Varane's injured. Martinez is injured, so it looks like it's going to be Lindelof and Maguire at the back. I would play Lindelof and Luke Shaw at centre-back with Malacia on the left and Wan-Bissaka on the right. That's what I would do, or Dalot. No, I'll play Wan-Bissaka because they're away from home and Wan-Bissaka's fantastic in defensive situations one-on-one. I anticipate Man United will win that game and tighten their grip on one of the top 4 places. Big game tomorrow, early kickoff, Super Sunday, West Ham versus Arsenal. Away game for Arsenal, West Ham being at home. West Ham struggled in their Europa Conference League this week against Ghent. Playing Thursday to Sunday is hard. Arsenal have had a 4 week's rest. I anticipate Arsenal to be strong and have too much for West Ham. It is a derby and Arsenal's record in derbies this season have been phenomenal. Injury update, Saliba still looks to be out even though he's nearing his return, but I'm pretty comfortable with a back line of Ben White, Holding, Gabriel and Zinchenko for that game. I don't see any changes for Arsenal, pretty much be the same team that faced Liverpool at Anfield. So let's have a look at the Chelsea game. No, the Spurs game that's still going on. Bournemouth scoring to make it 3-2 in the 95th minute. Spurs, an absolute shambles. That's good news for Newcastle, who also dropped points today. So they look to be safe in that top 4 because Spurs are Spursy, bottle it, and they can't take advantage when an opportunity opens up. Absolutely phenomenal. If Bournemouth do survive, what amazing fight they've shown to stay in this league. Phenomenal. 96th minute on the board. Spurs are Spursy. They're going to bottle it. Unbelievable. Before I end it, I'm just going to keep an eye on the game. It looks like it's over. 96th minute. I don't know if the referees and the officials, they're going to try and to screw Bournemouth over like they've done with Brighton and like they've been doing with the smaller teams all season long. But it looks to be done and dusted. I cannot believe it. Scorers in that game, Son, Granfeld getting a goal, and for Bournemouth, Vina, Solanke and Otara. It looks like the game's going to be done. We're in the 97th minute of stoppage time. 97th minute on the board. Just blow the whistle, ref. Put Spurs out their misery and give Bournemouth the valuable 3 points that they need. Let's have a look at the stats. Not competitive game. Possessions about equal. Spurs 58, Bournemouth 42. Loads of attempts by Spurs, 24-8 on target. Wasteful shots and attempts by Bournemouth, 9 but 6 on target. Really, really good. Still, the clock is ticking at the Spurs ground. Can you blow the whistle, ref? Please give Bournemouth the 3 points that they so vitally need and deserve. Unbelievable. How much time are they going to give? They're waiting for Harry Kane to go down and get another penalty. Broke his eyebrow and bang another penalty into the top corner. Shambles. Full time. Spurs lost. Crap. Bournemouth. I'm not going to talk about Spurs. They're crap. But looks like Bournemouth are going to survive since they've lost to Arsenal at that really close game where Reece Nelson had to score the last minute winner. They've accrued a massive, they've gone on a great run of form, accruing loads of points, and it looks like they're going to consolidate their Premier League survival. Absolutely fantastic. Bournemouth up to 14th and Spurs still in 5th. Top 4 hasn't changed. Arsenal, Manchester City, Newcastle, Man United and Spurs. Villa on their tails in 6th. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Let's watch the 5:30 kickoff between City and Leicester. Come on, Leicester, get a draw, please, or even better yet, get a win. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today. Please smash the like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Peace.